videos today. Okay. Okay. Yes, let me start. Uh, Hibernate annotations. How to map the database table and using the entity class. For instance, you have a database. You have a database. That is my SQL DB or any DB table, for example, EMP underscore table. In that, we have a EMP ID, EMP name, salary, address. This is the what actually table. Table contains some data. I don't want to do, I'm not bothered about that. Now I want to map with the entity class. Because I'm using Hibernate or JPA, it's relational mapping. Now what I need to do, how to map it? Using, you can write a class. You can write employee class or employee entity. Sorry, entity. Employee entity. Write a class. We add it. My employee ID is a primary key. Primary key. Now what? This table I need to map with this class. Then what I need to do? First at the entity. That means this is the class to map with the manager, entity manager. The entity, its entity means this is the class to interacting with the database table. Now what we need to do at the rate table. At the rate table, what is your name? Employee entity. But what is your table name? Employee underscore table. I want to map this class to this table. We have to use at the rate table, double quotes, EMP underscore TABLE. That means, oh, this is the entity class. That means it's a data access layer. It's interacting with the database using entity manager. Using entity manager. Okay, using entity manager. What is the table name? Table name is the employee underscore table. This table is mapped with the employee entity. Now table mapping is done. Now we need to have a property, right? Property private into EMP ID. Private string ename. Private string e address. Now, which one is the primary key? How to know? If it is a primary key employee ID, we need to add at the rate ID. ID indicate it's a primary key. What I need to map? This guy you need to map with this guy. Employee ID. Mine is EMP ID. Mine is actually EID, for example. It's employee ID table name. Then how to map at the rate column ID. Sorry, guys. Okay, now we need to map with the ID and second thing column name. Here is EID is there, but in the table EMP ID is there. If you're seeing right, in the table EMP ID is there. How to map that using at the red column EMP ID same as EMP ID. My property may be EID or employee ID or anything. I don't care. I want to map this to table name. See this here mapping and this is the ID. Primary key I told you, right? Primary key how to map in the Pojo class. We need to add at the rate ID. That is a primary key. Now again what? Again e name here is there. But here employee name is there. Then how to map at the rate column EMP name you have to write. So that column and this Pojo class is mapped. Now again, E address is there at the rate column, EMP address. We are mapped it. All tables, all columns mapped. Now you can interacting with the DB whenever you are saving in Pojo, automatically save in DB. This is nothing but a entity class we are preparing. How to save, how to do, how to update, how to delete, how to patch, and how to retrieval. That we're gonna teach you when writing a POC. But as of now, how we are mapping the table from the table to Ojo class, we are talking about in this session, like annotation sessions. Now one more annotation is there. What is that annotation? One too many, many too many, many to one. What is this one to one? For example, one to one, maybe one person can go at a time, one location, one location. Second, one to many. Many. I can give you a bad example. One girl or boy have more than one girlfriend or one boyfriend. One to many. One person at a time, more than one. Maybe some other example. This is a bad example. Maybe I can give one more example saying that maybe one person have different addresses. One is home address, maybe Bengaluru address, permanent address, permanent address. One person have more than one address. That means one to many. In this situation, you have to use one to many. Now many to many. Many to many. Many to many, for example, we have a student, we have a courses. Student may be one, two, three, four, something like first standard, second standard, third, fourth, 10th standard, or intermediate degree, or PG. Courses also like multiple courses, right? One, six courses will be there, for example, each session. Many students, many courses. This type of situation, we have to use many to many, many to many. These are the Hibernate annotations we're gonna talk about in future sessions. This time, like warm up this annotation because why I need to memorize all the annotations, you guys, so that right, like I am planning to memorize all annotations in your mouth so that tomorrow, if you're writing, I'm writing, what your mind says, hey, already you know this annotation. Then mind also trying to understand trying to acquire that whatever I'll teach you that acquire, and they'll understand. Otherwise it won't understand, because all are writing annotations how it will work. That way, that nowadays actually development is very easy compared than previous. I already told you, because of some AI tools came. But anyway, that is the secondary. Now we're going to teach you one more topic called Lombok annotations. What is a Lombok actually? Basically, why they are using it? For example, you have a employee class. See, we have a some property, some property, right? Then, really, what they are doing? Really, what they are doing? They are right click, first generate getters. First, they are generating the getters. So, they're generating the getters. Again, they'll do generate control A setters. So, see how many 40 lines of code. Now they might generate constructor. They might generate, they might generate, they might generate toastring, toastring. They might generate equals and hash code, equals and hash code. See, these are the things they might generate based on their requirement. How many lines of code they have added? They have added almost 70 lines of code, but ours is just property. We have just, I need only these properties, only one, two, three, four properties. But I want to access the data, I want to manipulate the data, I want to delete the data, whatever I want to do, that means manipulation. I need to use this kind of generations. What is that? Generator, getters, and setters, as code, dot equals, equal to string. Then what happened? They come up with one more topic called, they are adding a Lombok annotation. I don't want to use this boilerplate code. These are waste, right? In your code says 670 lines of code. This is nowhere used properly. That means I don't want this kind of code. Then what they are writing? They are writing a one jar name called Lombok. Then maybe you can say plugin. Okay, that actually dependency we need to add in the Marvin. Remove this all. Remove this all code. Remove this all code. 70 lines of code you can remove now. Don't want that. Okay. Just I want this one only. This one only. Now what they're adding, instead of setters, instead of setters, instead of setters, they're adding, instead of setters, they're adding. Now we are adding a setters in the using IntelliJ. How many lines of code? Maybe 50 to 70 lines of code they have added. I don't want this boilerplate code. They have to use at the rate setup. That's it. It automatically generate for you while runtime. While okay, I want getters at the rate getters. I want constructor at the rate all arg constructor at the rate. I want only hash code at the rate hash code I want hash code and dot equals at the rate hash code and dot equals. I want all our constructor I already done at the rate to string. All the things they are giving, we have to use at the rate setters, at the rate getter, at the rate all our constructor, hash code and dot equals and all. These 5 lines of things we need to add in the class level. Class level. Maybe we'll see if we are able to add or not, because we don't have the dependency, because we are not using any Maven project. Let me try. We'll see. Like that. Okay. Okay. That's not possible. Okay. Means Maven project I will do that time. I'll tell you. These are the things actually they have added. Some people very lazy. Some people very lazy. Hey, you are adding so many annotations. I want to add all the annotations. Then they're minimizing still, they're removing as per requirement, they remove, they removed, that means they have these annotations. It's all combination of one more annotation added at the rate DA data. If you're adding data in your on top of your class, it is eligible to generate the setters, it is eligible to generate the getters. It is all are constructed as code dot equals method and toString. Now you don't need to generate setters. You don't need to generate a all constructor. You don't need to generate a, you don't need to write setters getters all constructor as code dot equals and toString. But just you can write at the data. In the real time, if you need all the values, this all we are actually gonna implement at the rate data. We are not using at the rate setters and getters. Just now we have opened one more thing, right? What is that? Spring Boot application, right? Where is that? Oh, it's not. Okay. Then maybe I'll open so that I'll show you how they are writing in the return. Spring Boot, Spring Boot application. Service GIT GitHub JPA. Now something I don't want to open only one anything. Okay. Now you can go with SRC and main and Java projects. In that model you can open that model tutorials is there. The tutorial if you're seeing at the rate setter and at the rate okay, this guy is generating the setter smart get. I don't want this guy. Okay. Now using Lombok I can say JPA using LOMD. Okay, Lombok. Mhm. Student. See here what they are using at the rate data. At the rate data is nothing but a C entity. Table name actually student they are generating. This is ID is nothing but a primary key at the rate data. At the rate data means it contains what and all at the rate setters, getters, all are constructor, required are constructor and all. Maybe some people they might use okay, maybe I'll open 2 to 3 so that you'll get to know. Some people are using at that setup, but real time, which is more like experienced people, they might use at their data. Hmm? Okay, let me see what he is using. See, he is also using at the data. I think she don't know all our constructor and required our constructor also inside their data. That's the reason they have mentioned. See, import Lambo color constructor. Import Lombok at the data. Import Lombok, no constructor. But anyway, this guy, how we using C. That is a Lombok annotation. That's why we have to import from the Lombok. Okay. Addresses. Okay. See here also data only. Now maybe I'll go to my GitHub. To the GitHub. Okay, my GitHub has 40 projects. In that, I already told you, right? Maybe Hibernate RESTful App Service make CRUD operations. Okay, did I use what annotation I used? I'm not sure. Exceptions model. In that, I think so. I have used maybe shutters and getters. Hmm? Okay. So I have mapped column. What is the namespace and all I have used it. But maybe I'll go to the another application. I told you yesterday we have I wrote I think so 5 years back this all projects. Yeah, how come 2 weeks ago they have updated? I didn't update this one. 23, 26, 23, 22. I don't know. Okay, anyway, not an issue. What I mean to say, now I promise you something, right? So what is that? Uh, Java programs. See, yesterday I told you some of the Java programs. If you're seeing here, see, these are the programs I wrote almost 4 years back. I think so. How many programs? I don't know. Can go on star number, count or some event or count or factorial, Fibonacci series, GCP, or small LCG. This and all for freshers, maybe you can try. Okay. And uh, and I think so. Now my session is to see the entity setters and getters, right? Maybe let me check. If not, then don't worry about anything. We can go with one or whatever. See here also I'm using at the rate data. Okay, I am also using at the rate data only because anyway, don't worry about anything. Okay, this is the what actually they have their own GitHubs, right? And I have own a GitHub. Some people have own GitHub who are expert in Java, experts in Java. They might their own logics. They might their own implementations. Okay, if my channel, my GitHub location, if you go, I wrote different kind of applications, Spring Boot, reactive MongoDB Swagger, and if you go into the Spring Boot, MongoDB employee, Spring Master from Grafana, and student POC, which I gonna teach you POCs related stuff, and change. This is the event-driven application I wrote like long back. ETL same I wrote these kind of things. Actually, it has, for example, JWT token how to implement all the things, branch how to implement. I wrote a Oracle notebook also. If you want, you can download my Oracle notebook and SQL notes. And 4 years back, I wrote. Maybe I'll show you guys. This is the downloaded. And this is the book actually I wrote. And note, even, Core Java book also I wrote. I'll send you. This is after. This is my GitHub and Oracle Docs. My name is Yogi. You know, guys, all right. This is the chapter I wrote Oracle book long back. I think so. So many pages, 210 pages. This also you can go and see that this one so that you can learn. And Oracle notes also see. This one also I can send you guys. One more name called what is this called? Oracle notebook. I have a PDF. I'll send you. And all PPTs also I have. What that PPTs means? Postman PPT and Postman PPT, Postman. Jira PPT, GitHub PPT, Git PPT, and loops PPT, string buffer, string build PPT. All PPTs also we have. I'll explain you one time and I'll send you all the PPTs and notebooks. If you are very interested, please go through my video. After that, please go to that notebooks. I think so. You're expert in Java. Once that okay. Anyway, I have covered all the annotations, which I think so almost 80 to 90 annotations I covered. Tomorrow I gonna teach you Spring Boot, okay? And Spring Boot theory I'll teach you after that REST services, and we can jump into the POCs. POC, proof of concept, like testing proof or inserting the data and deleting the data, this CRUD operations we will see. Okay, I think I'm stopping here. Maybe if you have any questions, maybe tomorrow you can ask me. Uh, or else maybe, yeah, if you want, you can ask now also any questions if you have. Team. Okay, I'll consider as a no. Anyone? Sonali?
Yeah, yeah. We are using that getter and setters right in the bean classes.
Mhm.
How the security is provided, like we will be using private, public to declare that variables, that
Correct.
object variables, right?
Mhm.
But then how the security is provided to the project? Whenever we are accessing that old object will be accessed.
Correct.
And if we are using something like private means only in the same class we can use, not in
No, no,
other
no.
packages.
Okay, correct. Other packages, other classes, right? In this private means abstraction. Hide the implementation. Abstraction means what? Hide the implementation, providing the service, right? In this private variable is nothing but encapsulation. Encapsulation means binding the data along with its related functionality. That means you can write a private variable and that is a bind the data. You are not like hiding or you're not giving to the other classes and all. This is nothing but encapsulation. Binding the data along with its related functionality. What that related functionality? Getters and setters. My data in my entire application, you can use getters and setters. I'm a private variable. I cannot access other classes because of my private, and you can use through getters and setters using my object. That's the reason constructor should be public. If you're seeing constructor default, if you give here generate constructor select, what happened? The constructor. This way, they'll create an object and they'll get the data using getters. They can't access the data normally because of private variable. This class is nothing but encapsulation. That means binding the data. We are binding the data. Now we can access the data and manipulate the data using what? Using getters and setters. That's what actually encapsulation, right? This is a what encapsulation. Security related stuff is different case. I'll tell you how to security handle and in real time. Real time, there is a four ways to handle the security. One is they will use, what it is called role-based authorization, access, ACL, access controller list. That means you want read access, you want write access, you want read write access. That is a one way of security. And second thing, they are using API keys. If that key is providing URL, then only they will access the top class, that is application. Third is JWT token or a JWT token or maybe some SAML token or different token. That is the third one. Fourth is this all they will running into the one more like tool called maybe Vara code, so that once all passed down, they will deploy into the code into the production. This variable and all, you need to worry. This is just a encapsulation, not security. Okay, I think so. I am like conveying you. Yeah. Any doubt, others? Okay. I think that no. Then maybe I can stop this recording.